Hi everyone, my name is Marilee and I am starting a 6-month no makeup buy, as well as a limited no buy throughout. So if you're interested, you want to join with me, or you want to hear about why I'm doing this and the rules of this challenge, please keep watching. Alright, so let me give you some background about this makeup no buy. I did a makeup no buy for an entire year, a year and a half ago. So it started in July of 2017 and it went through, July of 2018, and it went through to July of 2019. And then for the last 6 months or so, I have been buying again, and I'm interested in going back to a no buy. So some history. I have loved makeup since I was 3 years old. I would always play with my mother's makeup, and in high school I used makeup all the time, not well, but I loved it. I love the transformative power of makeup in the artistic sense. I love using color to express myself, and I really like change, and especially in high school where I couldn't control a lot of the things that were happening to me, such as I didn't pick my school, I didn't pick my town, etc., I could change my makeup. I don't use makeup as a way to hide necessarily. I certainly use concealer. That helps for sleepless nights. But I don't use makeup because I'm like ashamed of my skin, or because I don't like the way I necessarily look without makeup. I use makeup because I love it. I love reaching into a palette and choosing colors. I love how different I can look, or more refined. And it gives me energy, and it makes me feel, I don't want to say powerful, but it does. There's something that happens to my confidence when I put makeup on. So I've loved it. I've loved it always. And I had a healthy relationship with makeup, like through high school and probably through college. I had certain makeup. I used it all the time. I liked it. And then I started working. So I am a teacher. I've been a teacher I just finished my 17th year, which is nuts. And I started teaching. I was living on my own, and I had access to quite a bit of income. Much differently than I had before. So I started buying makeup, and I started watching QVC, and they have really good deals, and I got introduced to Sephora, and basically I started consuming with a vengeance. So the makeup collection that I will be showing you in the next several weeks is accumulated over many, many years. This is not something that has just happened. Okay, so I go through the beginning of my teaching career. YouTube had started, but I decided not to partake in YouTube because I was very young and my students were into YouTube, so I tried to create some separation. And it wasn't until I had my son, who is 7 years old, yes, okay, he was born in 2012, that I really started watching YouTube, which has led me to create this channel. So I loved watching YouTube. I loved watching tutorials. They do have that on QVC. I don't want you to check it out because I think it just perpetuates spending, but QVC had some really good tutorials as well. But anyway, on YouTube I would watch some of the early people on YouTube, Marlene Estelle and Jaclyn Hill, and of course my favorite, Emily Noel, and I would watch them and I would buy. So I would buy what they recommended, and I would try to use different techniques that they did. At the very beginning, because I had already had a pretty good collection, I used the products that I had to create their looks. So, for instance, I remember very specifically Kathleen Lights, who is wonderful. Kathleen Lights creating a cool toned eyeshadow look, and I didn't have what she had, so I used my Naked 2 palette and I made a cool toned eyeshadow look, and I loved it. But as time went on and I continued watching YouTube, I would buy the specific product that was being discussed, or the many products that were being discussed. And the other day I was going through my camera roll, and I could not believe how many screenshots I took of videos and the description of the video to get all of the products that they were mentioning. So that led to me realizing that I needed to stop buying makeup because I had so many, to be frankly honest, and because it was consuming so much of my day. It was consuming not only putting it on, which I love and I will never stop, but the process of getting the makeup, going to Sephora and returning the makeup that I didn't like, and then coming back and then doing this back and forth thing. And it was an escape for me, because when I first had my children, it was my husband would come home and I would hand the children to him, and then I would go to Sephora, and it was like very much a just me. It was just for me. I wasn't putting makeup on anybody else. It wasn't about anybody but me. And so I really loved that, but I did get out of control. There's quite a few, I like to compare my makeup to like how many couches I could have bought, because we currently hate my couch, and I probably could have bought, did I just say that? I probably could have bought 10 couches with all the makeup that I bought. By the way, I don't buy expensive furniture. Anyway, so in the summer of 2018, right before my birthday, I went to Ulta. By the way, I also shopped there. I went to Ulta and I walked around the whole store, and I had everything. I had everything that I possibly wanted, and I begrudgingly bought a couple things because I felt like I needed to buy something. And I mentioned this in my palette tag. I had bought the Tarte, sorry, my Alexa's working. I don't want to say that out loud because she'll start listening. Anyway, I had bought the Tarte like Clay Play palette, and I remember I went on vacation, and I just sat there and couldn't believe that I had forced myself to buy something. And I started my no-buy year. I had family bet against me. They put money on it, and I was surprised at how easy it was. I say that it's easy, but at the same time, I was so motivated. I started my Instagram account about 6 months into it, which made me go through my collection. My sister and I started sharing, My sister and I started sharing pictures of each other, like using an eyeshadow palette, because that's my biggest weakness, but using an eyeshadow palette every single day and changing our look. So I did these things that would make it totally, I felt like it was totally doable to do a no-buy. I also liked that people were betting against me, and so it was very easy to have that competitiveness come out and go against those people. So I did my no-buy. I was fine. I was able to still purchase makeup if I had a gift card, and I got many gifts of makeup. So for my birthday, for Mother's Day, for Christmas, Valentine's Day, my anniversary, they were all makeup products, and I felt like it was doable. So that leads me to now. Why am I doing it again? So in the 6 months, I felt like I learned a lot about myself. And I'm going to always reference Hannah Louise Poston, who is on YouTube. I found her about 6 months into my no-buy, and she did a year-long no-buy, including all beauty, clothing, accessories, everything. And I absolutely love her videos. She is so intelligent. She speaks so beautifully. I am an English teacher. I was an English major. Listening to her speak makes me feel like I'm back in college, listening to a wonderful professor discussing literature. She's just wonderful. So listening to her and some of the things that she realized during her no-buy year, I was finding that myself. I was realizing those things myself. I was realizing that I used my ability to change my appearance as a way to kind of deal with some things I didn't want to deal with. I know that I like to shop as a way to kind of escape from the things I don't want to deal with. So some of the things that if there's pounding upstairs, my children are pretending to do a stampede. Okay, anyway, some of the things she realized, I found myself realizing along with her. So I loved it. And at the end of my no-buy year, I felt incredibly accomplished. I could say no to things. I could look at eyeshadow palettes and say, I have that in my 74 other palettes. Like, I'm fine. And I was able to do it, and I was super proud of myself. In the year that has followed, I would find myself buying a bunch of makeup and then stopping, and I'm buying some makeup and then stopping. And I wasn't putting into practice all the things I had learned about myself, which has culminated into a few days ago, me just buying makeup that I absolutely did not need, that I kind of wanted, but I shouldn't have bought. So that has led me to impulsively create this challenge for myself, which is a 6-month makeup no buy with a couple of extra rules, and I'm hoping to actually extend it to a full year. So here are the rules. Number 1. It's a 6-month makeup no buy, which means I absolutely cannot buy makeup for the next 180 days. Today is July 1st. I am hoping to start it today. I don't believe there is anything I need to get, so it should run from July 1st to December 31st, probably more like January 1st. So 6 months, no makeup purchases. I have my list over here if I keep looking to the left. I can extend it to a full year, and I hope to extend it to a full year. The second rule is, or now the third rule. So the second rule is I can extend it to a full year. The third rule is I can buy replacements, but I have to be completely out of everything in that category. So for instance, if I run out of an eyebrow pomade, but I still have eyebrow pencils, I have not run out. If I run out of a lengthening mascara, but not any other ones, I cannot buy a lengthening mascara. So it has to fit, it has to be the overall category, completely depleted, which is never going to happen. So I'm here to tell you I probably will not be purchasing any makeup for the entire year. That includes makeup tools, skincare, and hair care. So hair care maybe, and maybe skincare I'll run out of some stuff, but as far as color cosmetics, it's not gonna happen. We'll see. I mean, I'm interested, but it's not gonna happen. Now for skincare, there are certain categories that I need in order to keep my skin looking the way I wanna look. So those categories, I'm gonna list them here to keep myself accountable. I use a first oil cleanse. I use then a regular cleanser. I use some kind of AHA acid. Then I use a moisturizing serum, and then I have my cream that happens at night, and then I have a vitamin C cream and a sunscreen in the morning. So those 7 categories are the categories that I'm going to use for skincare. So if I run out of my oil cleanse, I get to repurchase that because it doesn't take the place of a second cleanse. Okay, so those are like the specifications around skincare. But besides that, no makeup purchasing, no hair care, no skincare, no tools, unless I am totally out. So if all of my sponges completely disintegrate, then I'm allowed to buy another makeup sponge. But probably not even, because I could just use a brush. The goal is to not spend any money. That's the goal. Now I can accept gifts, and I can accept family or friend trades. And I do this a lot with my family. Like, I'm over this palette, so I give it to my mom, and then she gives it back to me in a couple months. So that kind of cycling of makeup I think is totally fine, and I can accept gifts from people. I can use gift cards. What number am I on? I don't know. I'll number them. But I can use gift cards to purchase makeup if somebody gives me a gift card. However, I cannot return the item that I purchased. This is really important to me because I find myself often in that cyclical, let me buy this, let me try this, but I can return it. And if I feel bad about spending the money, I can return it. Didn't I just say that at the beginning of this video? So I cannot return whatever I purchase. So that's really important. If I purchase something with a gift card, I cannot return it and get something else. So I better know what I'm getting. And I really need to buy the things that I need to replace. So me using that gift card for a new eyeshadow palette when I need a eyelid primer is not going to work. I need to replace my items first with those gift cards, and then if there's extra, I can. Then any personal items. So this is the added part. I didn't do this last time. And let me just explain this for a minute. The last time I did a no buy, I did not buy makeup, but I did notice that I would spend some money in other areas. So I would buy some more clothing, or I would buy some more hair care, or I would buy, we would go out to eat more. Like, I would find myself treating myself with these other things. And I want to curb that because it's not just about the makeup, it's about the money that I'm spending towards the makeup. And I don't just want to use that money somewhere else. So here is the next rule. Any other personal items. So these are items that are for me. Nobody else uses. So any of those cannot surpass $100 per month, or if I've saved it from the previous months. In other words, throughout this 6 months, I cannot spend more than $600 in personal care. That is going to include any hair care, It doesn't include getting haircuts or getting my hair highlighted or dyed. I draw the line. But anyway, it includes any hair care. It includes clothing, shoes, any special shampoo that only I'm allowed to use, any accessories, and also any of my planner stuff. So this is a little secret. Not only do I love makeup, but I also love planners and stickers and all of that. But I'm keeping that within my $100 a month. So in other words, I'm giving myself a $100 allowance to use on other things besides makeup, but I cannot surpass that $100 unless I've saved it from the previous month. I also am going to try to challenge myself that any replacements that I get needs to come out of that $100. So the goal at the end of this, if I break this down, is between now and the end of this year, the end of 2020, I will have only spent $600 in anything that's just for me. And I'm hoping that I can do this. I will say why this is an extra challenge this time. It's an extra challenge because I've done it before. And if any of you have done this, where you've accomplished something that you've really set your heart to and you've really set your mind to, you've accomplished it, you've checked it off, and then you try to do it again, that, you know, part of me was betting against myself. I didn't know if I could do that year no-buy. And so now I know I can. So I'm wondering if I will again. So I'm hoping that with this channel, and I have a couple people that are joining me with this, we can motivate each other to make sure that we don't give in, that we don't purchase. It will probably mean that I need to reduce the time that I spend watching haul videos and videos where people are consuming makeup, and I need to watch more declutter and no-buy videos. Which I will, but I am hoping that I can do this, but I'm a little bit afraid because I do have a track record of once I've done something, I'm like, check, never have to do that again. So that is the Makeup No-Buy Challenge, and I would love if you join me, but I would also love if you help keep me accountable, you write any comments, you ask any questions that you have, and that you also watch the videos and see how I do. I wish myself luck, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Please consider subscribing and joining me on my journey. And yeah, thanks everyone. Bye-bye.